This is the 56th episode of God's Chosen podcast. Today we are going to talk about jealousy. We are going to explore my beliefs on the subject and why I don't feel there is ever any need for it. Let's dive in. Enjoy.
What up? What up? It's your boy, GodsChosen. So, it's been a little bit, and I've been wanting to do this for a few days now. I've been thinking about, jealousy. That's what I want to talk about today. I've been thinking about jealousy. I've been thinking, how that's quite interesting to me, for people to be jealous, because I look at it differently. So I could never really be jealous of anybody. It doesn't matter what they have. I mean, the fact that they have something is proof that I could have it too. So why would I be jealous of that? If I wanted it, I would just figure out a way to get it. I don't have to be jealous, right? If I ever wanted something that somebody else had, and usually for me, it's not possessions. It's not possessions. Usually it's skills for me. If I wanted to learn a particular skill, or I seen someone execute or have a particular skill, or something that I find would benefit my life, something that would improve me, then instead of being jealous, I would inquire, maybe ask them how they did it. How did they acquire this ability or skill? But I know how they did it, but maybe they can give me some tips and pointers that will make me achieve it. I don't know, maybe. But even if they can't or don't know how, maybe they feel like it was a natural ability or skill, I would still be able to go and figure it out and learn it if it meant that much to me. If I wanted that skill, talent, or ability, I would just go and do it. And that's fun to me, because now I'm doing something new. I'm doing something interesting, something that I actually want to do. You know what I mean? So for me, that would be fun. That would be entertaining to me, to try and acquire a new skill set or a new ability or new talent. Just something else different than what I'm usually doing, right? Something along the lines of improving oneself. That's fun to me. That's interesting to me. So there's really no room in my life to be jealous of anyone for anything. I've never been that guy. It doesn't matter if someone had way more money than me. Congratulations, you're doing your thing, right? You watch, you study, you learn, and you figure it out. If you really want to be the thing that you want, right? If you really want to, if you see someone who apparently has more than you, why would I be jealous of that? There's no need for me to be jealous. That's a low vibrational energy. Why would I want to bring that into my energy? Don't. Never any reason to be jealous. I mean, if you think about it, right? What would really make you jealous to the point where, oh, now you don't like that person because you're jealous, right? Doesn't that sound crazy? That sounds like you probably have some internal issues there in regards to jealousy, right? You may have something, maybe feeling unfulfilled. Maybe you feel like, things should just be given to you. I don't know. But if you wanted anything, you got to put in the work. I mean, you can't just be lazy, because how bad do you really want it if you're being lazy? I don't know. That's something you got to figure out, you know? I feel like There's no reason for anyone to be jealous. I mean, even in relationships, man, even in relationships, I don't feel like you should be jealous. I mean, I feel like in any relationship, you got to know what you have. And you also got to give that person space to be who they are. You know what I mean? You don't want them to resent you. You don't want them to feel a certain type of way because you're not giving them the space to grow. I mean, I know I want that space. I want that space. I want that space to be able to be myself in environments. I don't want to have to worry about how my partner is feeling because I'm talking to this person or that person. We got to be solid in what we got. We got to know what it is, right? There's and to be honest, there's really no need for jealousy when there's trust, right? And I think that's where a part of it stems from, just lack of trust in a relationship, right? But overall, I don't think there's no need for jealousy in any part of this, any part of my life, any part of your life. Why? Why? There's no need. Like I said, I look at things differently, man. People, I've never understood it. People could see me do something and then be jealous because I just did that thing. Now, as I'm looking at it, there's only a few reasons you would be jealous. One, because you feel like you can't do what I just did. You may have tried and failed to do what I just did. And now you're mad at me because I can do something that you can't do, or you're jealous of me. That's ridiculous. What do you want to do? Do you think I just woke up one day and it just happened? Or did you see me put in some type of effort to make it happen? Did you see me actually take steps to make it happen? One, I got up off my butt. I took some action, right? I went wherever I had to go to initiate whatever I wanted to see start. And then I followed through to its completion, right? And it was a success. And now I did all those things, some of which you may not even have seen, to complete whatever it is I was trying to do to make it a success, to make it pleasing to me. And you may have seen only the end of the journey and not what it took to get to the end. And because you think, hey, he made that look easy, and maybe I did make it look easy, but that doesn't take away from the fact that there was work to get to that point and the follow through to finish it and see it through. But now you're jealous. That's why. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. We are all relatively the same. We all have the same capabilities. We all have certain things that we're good at. And then we have things we may want to improve on. But even if I saw somebody was killing it in something that I wanted to improve on, I would probably ask them yo, or study them and see what are they doing? What is their thought patterns? What is bringing, and to be honest, if I know, for me, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, I kind of already know what I I can watch someone and I can kind of tell what they're doing. I can tell. I can just know. And I can just apply that to my life and I'll be good. But if I didn't know, then I would inquire. I would find out. If they didn't tell me, maybe somebody else with a similar skill set could. Who knows? But again, no reason that I see to be jealous. Hmm. And I mean, I don't know. It's for me. I mean, I think the things in the past that I may have been jealous about was in relationships because I guess I didn't have that trust, or I didn't feel like that trust was there. I didn't feel like the bonds was tight enough. But as I've grown, as I've matured, I realized that the best thing that one can do for anybody in any relationship, especially if you love them, is to let them be them. You know, of course, you have to have boundaries that you both agree on in the relationship. There's certain things that you can have agreements on, no doubt. But overall, generally speaking, we want to give people the space to be themselves. How else can they flourish? How else can they thrive? How else can they grow? And I guarantee you, the person that you see with space, with trust, with boundaries will be a happier version than the person that you see with restrictions and distrust and insecurity. You know what I mean? You putting those things out there, then the person that you're going to get is going to reflect back to you all those things. Now they're going to be sneaky. They're going to be sneaking. Now they're going to be lying. No trust. And I think, to be honest, man, jealousy, just like anything else, I'm not saying you can, but some people, maybe you can't totally eliminate it, right? Because on the one hand, you may feel like that's my person and I want them to be mine only, right? And that's understandable, right? But with that, you got to know, like, if that's your person and your person saying, oh, that's my person, then there's nothing that can really come between that other than both of you. If y'all both believe the same thing, then only the two of you could come between that, you know? So we got to manage expectations. And, maybe we got to tackle some things from the past so we can be good in the present. If there's any past issues that you've had, any past beliefs that may need to change because you are no longer in the past, you are now in the present, and something new, something good, and you don't want to bring those old beliefs into, into the present in your new situation, new relationship, right? Like they say, you don't want to pour new wine into old bottles, right? Can't do it. So I don't think there's a need for it, honestly. The coolest thing though, the coolest thing that I think, when you're dealing with a mature relationship, in a mature relationship, you could talk about anything. You could talk about anything. Nothing is off limits. And you could be honest. You could state your piece. They could state their piece. And y'all could figure it out. Everything don't got to be a battle. Everything ain't got to be a war. There can be peace, even amongst situations that may have possibly started a battle or a war in your past. It all depends who you're dealing with. It all depends the level of maturity. Me, I feel like we should be able to talk about anything, and we should be able to figure it out to where both parties are agreeable on something. If it's not a solution to where we could both be happy, then maybe it's a situation we can both agree on. Something. You should be able to figure it out. I mean, they always say two heads are better than one. I say the right two heads are better than one. Because the other head could be a knucklehead. And, you know how that go. We don't want that. So I say the right two heads are better than one. So I feel like, again, really no need for jealousy. But I understand, like, people have passed, and I understand that certain situations may trigger people based off their past. But again, it comes down to knowing who you are, knowing who you're with, knowing that you are building a strong foundation. Even if you don't currently have one, you could be building, maybe you already have one, but if you don't, maybe you're building that. And if you're building that, then this is a great, great thing to pop up while you're building that foundation, because now when you're building it and you address all these little things, you're just making that foundation really strong. You address everything that could pop up while you're building this strong foundation. Things are going to pop up. Things that need to be reconciled, things that need to be healed, things are going to pop up, right? On both sides. That's just life, right? So you can deal with it in a mature way and grow from it, or you could deal with it in an immature way and tarnish that foundation, delay the completion of that foundation that you're trying to build, right? So I would always choose growth and expansion over delays and setbacks. You can learn from either one, but you choose how that's going to go. You choose which one you want to learn from. Again, that's why I say, who are you? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the jealous person? Or do you want to be the person that's like, I know my partner, I trust my partner, and I believe in them enough to know that there's no need for me to be jealous because they're with me. I'm with them. We are together. We are one. And the crazy thing is, sometimes while people are being jealous, they're missing the obvious. Everything that I just said could be missing to the person that's being jealous. I said those things just now because those things are true. Those things are facts. We are one. We are together. Trust, right? All those things. I'm with you. You're with me. Trust. But as you're being jealous, as you're caught up in that moment, are you really thinking about that? Or are you thinking about the fact that, my person is talking to somebody and they're attractive and they look this way and they look that way and oh, they're laughing together, they're smiling, and it looks like they're flirting and all these different things. But what you're really missing out on is everything I just said, you know, because we all people, you know, we gonna be personable and we not gonna necessarily be, I wouldn't be the type to be like intentionally like flirting with somebody in front of my partner. And then, you know, it could be something that's misread as flirting, or it could be misread because it seems like, you know, we're having a good time or a good conversation. It could be, but those are things that, you know, you got to know, you got to be able to trust. And if I saw that, knowing my partner, knowing what our situation, knowing how we feel about this, and I was across the room when I seen something like that take place with my partner, then okay, I'm gonna go over there and be cool. I'm gonna just introduce myself, chop it up. It's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, I know what it is. I know, like, for me, when I have that person, and I've never really had that person, I'm gonna say that. I never really had that person. But if you ever had a person where, like, in your life where it was just like, y'all was just like two peas in a pod, you know? It was like, it's just you and them. There's nobody else. And you know, like, you know, no, in your heart of hearts, there's no reason for any kind of jealousy. Because you know, like, how they feel, like, how they truly feel. And they know how you truly feel. Like, and actually, everyone can see it again. Everyone can see it. So, there'll never be a doubt that you're for them and they're for you, you know? So, I guess, like, outside of talking about these issues regarding jealousy and coming up with resolutions that work for both of you, you know, outside of those things is having that type of relationship where it's just, it's a little different. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody don't have that. Everybody would love to have that with someone, I'm sure. But I think you can you can do your best in any relationship, you know, and it all depends on who you're with and what they want as well, because they have free will to decide what they want. And, you know, the moment y'all decide, like, we don't want to work at this anymore, we don't want to put in the effort, we don't want to put in the time, then, you know, at that time, it's probably best that, you know, part ways, you know, because sometimes, you know, jealousy is a form of where you're jealous because they're doing something that you want to be doing. Yeah. As crazy as that sounds, it feels you see them having a good time with someone that's not you. And it's like, it may be like a minute or two interaction, but you're jealous. And sometimes it's like, maybe I'm not happy in this thing. Maybe I want something different, right? So you're jealous. And maybe that makes you think like, or realize that you do want something new. You do want a new beginning. You do want a change of scenery. And maybe you realize, like, the jealousy has nothing to do with them, but everything to do with you. Because maybe you realize that this ain't the life. This ain't where I belong. And it's a wild shift right there, because that takes a lot of self-reflection. That takes a lot of introspection to even come to that conclusion of what I'm just saying. And you realize that it has less to do with jealousy and more to do with happiness. Man, wow. That's a thing to actually come to the realization now, because if you didn't stop and think about it, if you didn't have a few moments with yourself to really like dig into it, get deep into it, you wouldn't really come to that conclusion. You know, sometimes the thing we feel has nothing to do with the thing we actually think it does. Sometimes it goes deeper. And that could be anything. That could be trust, that could be jealousy, that could be a number of things. Honesty, self-love. It could be a number of things that we're looking at and we think like outwardly, I'm feeling this emotion, but then as you dig deeper, it's something else. It's something behind it. That's the true reason for you feeling that feeling or that emotion or having those thoughts, which is usually the case. I mean, if we dig deep, we usually find the answers that we're looking for, and we know the truth. And maybe sometimes we ignore that truth. Maybe we don't put enough stock into it. We try to brush it off. We try to downplay it. The truth is the truth. If you feel a certain way, you feel a certain way. You know? No reason to really hide it. No reason to lie about it. It is what it is, man. Let it be. But I'm going to leave it right there for today. It's your boy, God's Chosen, and I'm out.